Have you seen the movie The Princess Bride? Remember Inigo Montoya?
Walking and chewing gum exercise first. I would like you to take the stick. Most of the weapons you have are round. These are Chinese waxwood. We use them because they're really, really durable and they don't splinter. Every once in a while, because they're layered like an onion or parfait. Everybody likes parfait. What will happen is if these break, the outer shell kind of separates a little bit, but they don't splinter like a lot of other bokken. So we use them for this reason. Some of you have the regular red oak bokken that are shaped, and that'll make this part of the class easier. But when you hold your bokken, it's going to become your sword. You're going to notice that one end is probably a little bit narrower than the other. If this were a baseball game, you'd be holding the narrow end and hitting with the heavier end. For purposes of sword class, you're usually holding the heavier end. It's a little bit more like a handle, and the lighter end is what you're going to hit with. If you can't tell the difference, most of these have Japanese lettering on them. You're going to hold the end nearer to the lettering. And if you have tape on your bokken, the tape isn't for grip for your handle. The tape is to preserve the bokken so it doesn't shatter and come apart. So you're going to hold them this way. How many of you are left-handed? 2. Good. Actually, because 8 out of 9 people are right-handed, but that tends to be, so that 1 out of 9, we tend to run a little higher at anime conventions because left-handedness runs more in artistic people. And so anime conventions drawing that. But you too, when it's time for the sparring, Jill, will you put the 2 lefties together? Okay. Reason why that's important, in Japan, everybody had to train right-handed. It was about conformity. This is an anime convention, it's about non-conformity. So pick whichever hand you want. But what I want you to do is I want you to take your dominant hand and I want you to put it on that bokken roughly at a balance point on your imaginary handle where you feel like you have good control of the stick. Okay? Then I want you to take your non-dominant hand and I want you to put it underneath it. If you're a baseball player, you put your hands together. You move your hands up because you're a contact hitter. It gives you better control of the bat, but not as much power. If you're a home run hitter, you put your hands at the bottom. You strike out a lot more, but when you hit the ball, it goes farther. Japanese swordsmanship, we actually split the difference. You're going to separate your hands by 2 or 3 fingers width, like this, because it gives you more control of the sword, better push-pull dynamics. Trust me? Good, don't move. You want to be able to control that weapon so you can swing it and stop it very suddenly with control. And if you have both hands together near the bottom, that would have ended differently. Okay? The other advantage to separating your hands is Japanese swordsmanship is about multiple attackers, and this gives you the ability to change direction with the sword very quickly. Okay? So separate your hands. We're going to face this way. We're going to walk and chew gum. I want you to take your right foot and put it in front. For those of you with dyslexia, your right foot is the one on this side. Put it in front. If you are not dyslexic, your right foot is the one on this side. Okay, put it in front, point the sword in front of you, menacingly. Imagine there's some tall, ugly guy with a big mouth right in front of you, okay? What we're going to do is I'm going to count in Japanese. We're an anime con, seems fair. But when I count, you're going to bring the sword up over your head, step forwards, reach out and cut that imaginary opponent in half. Please keep your head up. If you look down at the floor, that's what you're going to hit. It's kind of like driver's ed. They tell you not to stare at oncoming traffic because you'll drift right into their lane. That's bad with a car, and it's bad with a sword too, okay? So keep your head up. We're going to step forwards. We're probably going to do it 4 times. If we don't have room, we won't. And if you hit my wife with a stick, run. All right, coming forwards, ready? Each. Forwards, you got all the way through. Don't stop halfway. All right, if you take modern Aikido, when they do Aikiken, they only do shoot-out level cuts right here because it mimics their throwing motion. Empty hand, This is about swordsmanship. If there is someone trying to kill you and they have friends, you don't want to cut from here down to their hips and then have the sword stop right there. Because while you're going, get off, dead zombie, their 45 friends are now snacking on your brain. All right, coming forwards again. Knee, step and cut, reach out. And kill them. Do not give them a headache. This is not an aspirin commercial. 2 more cuts. Saw, step and cut. Once more, sheath, forwards. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to go backwards. Please don't turn around and do this. Your opponent is still going to be right in front of you. Don't think about this as running away. When I count and you step backwards, don't step and lean and just swing. If you're leaning backwards and swinging forwards, that's the sword fighting equivalent of, no, didn't stop! Okay, I want you to think about it this way. There's an opponent coming at you, and if you're too close, there's a metal cap on the bottom of the Japanese sword handle. It's called kashira. Really cool. It's designed to smash people in the mouth. If he's trying to kill me, aren't you glad you stood in the front? From right here, I can go, BAM! And that's awesome. But if I take one step back, boom, not you, put me in a chicken. Bad mannequin. If I take one step back, instead of hitting him with this part, I can hit him with this part, and that's better. Okay, so when you step backwards, that's what I want you to be thinking of. Zombie got past your guard, you step back, kill them. In our children's sword class, we call this the bad dog defense. No! Whack! Works great. We're going backwards 4 times. Ready? Go! Step back and cut down. Again. Rope! Siege! Once more. Hotch! Kamai! Kamai is a Japanese term that just means return to that vicious, nasty position you started in. Okay, it means ready. Return to that vicious position is more fun. Okay, we're going to do this one more time, but we're going to add something to it. For the samurai warriors, combat was about life or death and violence, and so they yelled. We call it a ki-ai. There are 3 different ways to do this. Ki-ai pattern number 1, the samurai would yell first, hoping to freeze their opponent, make them tense and freeze so they could be hit easier. Ah! We don't do that at anime conventions because too often it involves people dropping the stick and running. Pattern number 2, you ki-ai after you strike. You're in a life or death situation, you cut down your opponent, you ki-ai to release all of it, that extra energy and pent-up frustration and rage. We don't do that one either, because going up and going, ah! It's a little bit like bloating. And we're not in Wisconsin, there is no discount double check. 3rd pattern for ki-ais, and this is the one that we use for our system, and that what most samurai in the 16th century did. They would ki-ai at the same time they swung the sword. It was to unify mind, body, and spirit so that you channel all of your energy into striking down your opponent. And that's what I want you to do. When I count, I'm going to say each. You're going to step forwards and you're going to yell A. Conveniently enough, that's the first letter of the alphabet. Even in Minnesota, you guys have gotten that far. Sorry. Okay, so on the first count, step and cut, yell A. On the second count, we're going to yell Ya. I know that's not the second letter of the alphabet, but it's in my ki-ai pattern. So A, Ya. Coming forwards, be mean and violent. Okay, pretend it's anybody from school standing in front of you. There's people with cameras. All right, pretend it's people with cameras standing in front of you. And hit them with the sword. Coming forwards, ready? Each. Yeah. Knee. Yeah. Good. Once more. Side. Yeah. I'm losing my voice. She. Yeah. Good. Going backwards. Same thing. Yell loud. My favorite part about teaching at anime conventions, I do this for a living. because they're self-conscious. But I got news for you. If you're trying to swing the sword hard, and you're going, raw, but what's coming out is, hey! You're not going to swing the sword very hard. Anime conventions are fun for me because you guys don't care about looking cool or being serious. You are here to have fun. And nothing is as fun as making everybody in the hallway scared to death of what you're doing. So backwards, make some noise. Ready? Go! Roll! Siege! Watch! Come on! Point the sword menacingly at that person in front of you. All right. One more time. Be loud, be vicious, let it out, get in the spirit, and then I'm going to partner you off and let you hit each other.
Yeah! It's on!
Oh, yeah. I'd be afraid of the one in the back. It's on! And not to make you nervous in front of her, but she's taking 2 steps for every one of yours. She's got to get you. All right, come on. I love you. Come forwards, loud and proud, and then I'll let you hit each other. Each! Backwards, go! Siege! That was good. All right, come on, point the sword. I don't care how you do this, but when you put the sword away for the samurai, resheathing your sword is actually the most dangerous thing you can do with a sword to yourself. We have most injuries from this. And if you take kendo sports sword, what you see when you're done using that round stick, they just go like this. Ta-da, here it is. If you do that with a real sword that's sharp, really bad things happen. So normally you take the bottom hand off, hold on to the sheath, overlap your thumb and index finger at the bottom, and bring the non-sharp part. That's important. To the back of your fingers, turn it out, turn it in, and resheath. You do that so you can put the sword away without breaking eye contact with a potential enemy. Because if I'm looking at her, she may not kill me. If I'm going, how did that go? She's going to hit me. She flinched right there. I didn't. All right, sweetheart, line them up. Now that I've been threatened, I'm going to go hide.
Face each other. Stand right out here. All right. You were my lefty, correct? Go ahead and head to the back. Right, girl. All right. Ladies, side by side.
12. Zinc. New Zealand.
Together for this.
Never.
Side by side.
Never. You know how many times I've actually hurt somebody in 22 years? That I've hurt somebody unintentionally?
Come on up. Come on up. Straight across.
Trying to show how you're blocking above your head.
Partner.
I don't get the extra.
Legs side by side. Come this way just a little bit.
So, and I tricked you.
Come in right beside her, and you two are my lefties, you two are the lefties. So you two are going to be on the end. You're going to face the violet one in red. And you guys, I want you to primarily stay just on this side of that light. You should be totally fine with everything we're doing, especially kind of on this side of it. So you guys are going to be on this side just a little bit. Kind of center between the
I
lights.
always wear my watches on my right hand just because it feels more natural. That's what I used to, or like bracelets on the right hand.
All right, sweetheart, are we ready? Swing this way. I'm bored. Oh, good. Let the violence. You really have a checklist for how to win this guy? All right, this is what we're going to do. Japanese swordsmanship. Primarily on the battlefield, you use this part of the sword to chop and sever, doing overhand strikes. However, the tip of the sword, Japanese, that's called the kasaki. The kasaki was actually the sharpest part of the blade and unbelievably good at penetrating skin, muscle tissue, bone, gray matter, and other things. So we're going to start by doing 1, maybe 2 attacks where we're stabbing our partner instead of chopping them.
Because I want this to be thorough and I want you to get your money's worth. That and stabbing people is fun. So this is what we're going to do. Let's have... Can I get you guys to both people move back a little bit? We're going to demonstrate right in the middle so everybody can see. All right. My wife is going to be the bad guy. Because any blonde, heavily armed with that psychotic smile on her face has to be the bad guy. That makes the 6'7" guy in the black mask the good guy. That makes no sense for 80s horror movies, but it works for today. Both people, left foot in front. If we have problems with right and left, we'll help a little bit. Both people, left foot in front. The bad guy is going to hold the sword up near their ear. Okay, this position is called hasso. Not that you need to know it, but you've seen it in every movie poster from every samurai movie ever made. But they normally hold the sword down here. That is not because the samurai trained to fight from down here. They did this because when you took pictures of it to put on the poster, it got the shiny part in the picture. Okay? You can't attack very well from right here. There's no power. The sword was held here, outside of the ear. Remember a big Japanese war helmet? Kimono? Sword would go here and high enough that if somebody came charging in suddenly, you could go, no! Better not luck in your next life. Okay, so here, not down here if you think about it. Bad guy holds the sword there. Good guy, left foot in front. Sword held pointed at the middle of their throat. This is basically your way of reinforcing the cosplay is not consent rule. No. Okay, we're going to count this exercise. When my wife shouts out,
Yoi!
Yoi means prepare for the attack. Not to be confused with Yowie. That's a different thing. So, although that's still no. Right. When she says Yoi, the bad guy's going to drop their sword down and point it right for the middle of the good guy's chest. Okay, in real life, you're going to aim a little bit higher, right about here. But for our sword class, please aim for the sternum. If you're using a round bogan and you mess up and hit your partner and hit him in the middle of the chest, it's ouch, that sucked. If you take the stick and slam it into their teeth, it's more of a ambulance. Okay, so aim here, right? So, bad guy drops their sword down. Good guy, I want you to take the tip of the sword and I want you to move it off to the right. That does two things. It sets you up for your block. It also reinforces which way we're moving. If you both have your swords pointed at each other, when she says, each, you're going to step into each other and you're going to make a dual shish kebab. Which is really cool, but I mentioned before, I don't teach ritual suicide. So on Yoi, bad guy drops their sword, good guy tips their sword off to the right. On each, the bad guy is going to step and stab. If you're the bad guy, your job is to aim right here and move far enough that if they don't move, you go in one side and out the other. Now, having said that, please don't slam your sword into your partner's chest if they're not paying attention. But don't go, because somehow this attack lacks violence. Okay? Put the sword where it would actually go. If you're the good guy, when they step and stab, you step backwards. Does that make sense? Even if you mess up everything else, you don't die. So we both step the same direction. Also, Yoi, tip. On each, she steps and stab, I step back, and I'm going to block from right to left. Don't bat their swords. You don't want to give them energy and let them whip it around and hit you in the head. You want to push it so it is no longer aimed at you, and if the attack continues, it hits him. Well, I mean, not you. Have you seen the movie The Princess Bride? Remember Inigo Montoya? Big fight scene. He blocks, he gets run through the shoulder. He gets attacked, he blocks, he gets run through the other shoulder. It made for great cinema, but it's really bad combat. When you block, it should be just outside the shoulder. Watch.
Yoi.
Tip.
each.
Step back and block. See how that missed? You know what that means? It means now I get a counterattack. After you step back, you have your right foot in front. I want you to keep your right foot in front. We're going to shuffle, and you're going to reverse your sword and claim victim number one. Off with their head. Okay, don't go here and stab because it's too easy to miss. Go here and reverse. And then saw it off, and then victory ends!
Now victory ends! Alright, he mentioned shuffle on the way back in. That's important because you managed to get from here, you got out of the way and blocked. Shuffling back in means you get to hit them without them hitting you. If you step and change lead legs, you're putting your leg in line with their falling sword.
So in a video game world, you still win. In real life, her 45 buddies are going to be able to track you down following the blood trail, and you can't run very fast because, well, you've had your leg chopped. Okay? So stay parallel to the sword. We're going to do this slow the first time, but we're going to try to build on this. We'll make it more fun. Should go faster later.
Each knee.
Yeah!
And the best thing you can do when you're the attacker, as they come back in, is hold still and trust them. Flinching normally leads to you batting their sword into your own face.
Don't laugh, it's happened.
And
the audience now knows what to look for. We're going to watch somebody get backed in the face. I love this game.
All right.
Bye, sweetheart, they're yours.
This side, facing towards the chairs, you guys are going to be my first attackers. I want you to put your left foot in front, except for the end, you are doing the exact opposite of the rest of us. You're going to put the sword up beside your right ear. Excellent. All right, my defenders. Number one, you have to move close enough that they could actually stab you. If they have to airmail it, they're not really in any danger. Okay? And you are starting with your left foot in front and sword pointed out at them. Alright, excellent, and we have the right stuff. Okay, without moving your feet, this is the prepare part. Yoi, attackers, bring your weapon down and point it at your partner's chest. My defenders, without moving your feet, bring it down. There we go. Alright, defenders, tip your sword towards the front room, towards the stage. Except for my lefties, you should be tipping towards the back. Excellent. All right. Now they're going to step and stab and try to stab that stick right through the middle of your chest. Defenders, remember to step backwards. You are stepping back towards the chairs that are still set up to block. Here we go. Each they stab. You step back and block. You forgot to menace him. Step around and step back and facing block. You want to make sure that block comes across, so that you have contact with their sword. Extend your weapon. There you go. You're still attacking. And now, attackers are holding still. Defenders, you're going to turn the edge of your sword, shuffle in, up to take their head. Good. And then reset. Let's try again. Now we have an idea of where we're going and where our feet go. Everybody left foot. Defender points the sword out of them. Attackers up by their ear still. And do not move your feet, but we have Yoi, ready positions. Defenders tip, attackers should be pointed at them now. That was Yoi. Minister. There we go. And you're not blocking yet. This is the baiting. This is the, I'm ready, come get me. All right, attackers, you're going to stab them. Each stab. Knee off with their head. 9, 10, 15, it was a perfect block that time. She came in after you, but the step in will want to get your leg. All right, again, facing your partner. Everybody left foot. Yoi. Your feet shouldn't move yet. Reset. Yoi, remember, is the kind of, we mentioned Inigo Montoya. This is the prepare to die part, but you're not actually moving. All right, without moving your feet, Yoi. Right foot in front. Attackers are pointed. Defenders are tipped to the side. And now stepping back. Each. Get her. Block across. No, she blocks. You're stabbing. Okay. And then knee off with their head. Shuffle in, don't step. Shuffle in. Yes. All right, again, one last time. We're gonna go a little quicker. Without moving your feet, Yoi. Without moving your feet. You're pointed, you haven't stabbed yet. Yoi is the prepare. She's there. Now you're gonna step and stab. Ready? Each. Opposite. Knee off with their head. All right, reset. Not bad. All right, we're gonna trade jobs. Don't trade positions, but everybody left foot in front, and we need to move just a little bit towards the chairs so that your previous attackers have room to actually block without getting on the wall of the chair. Excellent. All right, so our new attacker has their weapon up by their ear. Left foot in front. New defender, left foot in front, sword pointed at them right now.
They're adorable, and they look
Saying,
forward
stay
to
away
the
from
panel
me.
because we bring them.
All right, without moving your feet. Yoi, bring the sword down, point it at them, and my defenders should be tipping their sword towards the back of the room. Except for my lefties. Your sword should be tipped this way. You got it? Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Attackers, you are stepping forwards. Defenders, please remember to step back on your block.
Not just a weekend thing.
So I was curious where that class is.
All right, ready? Each,
serious
they
about
stab,
classes?
block,
Come to our school.
and then knee,
We're in Iowa City,
return
Iowa.
off
We're
with their
300
head.
miles away, but the right school is working.
Nice. You got it. All right, again.
Because I was pretty sure you weren't going to say Watertown, South Dakota.
Without moving your feet.
Is there anybody in South
Weapons in
Dakota? I
position.
mean, at all? There's like
And
those 4
each
heads
step
on rocks, and that's
Knee
it.
off with their head. Nice.
Okay, good. 'cause that's-
All right, again. Yoi, weapons down, and each stab.
Yes. Yeah.
Knee off with their head. Good fix. Self-sacrifice by jumping on the sword, not a good play. All right, one more time. Facing your partner, and yoi. Each stab. Knee off with their head. Not bad. All right, Sensei.
Hi.
Come back. It's time
Yay.
to hit you again.
Oh, good. All right, we're going to do one more stabbing technique. Okay, and please keep in mind, what we're doing this right now, if it seems like it's slow and it's almost counterintuitive because you want to move faster, these are designed later on, when you draw your sword on the battlefield. I mean, here we are in armor, we're fighting with Naginata, the polearm, or the Yari, and it gets broken or stuck in somebody. So I go here and kill them. I'm going to draw back and come forwards and attack in one motion. Right now we're breaking this down and taking what should be a fluid, dynamic situation, and we're making it static so we can learn each movement and do it safely. The exercise you just did later on almost looks like I don't move backwards, that I'm just changing feet. But when we start here and she just comes after me, it's just here and in. And by the time her sword stops moving, mine's already hit her. So if you would, we're just talking about classes and lessons and stuff, be patient with the class. If it's not going as fast as you would like, we'll go as fast as you want. Just come stay at our house for a couple of weeks and train at our school. We've had instructors and other students do that because this is fun for us and we want to go fast. We're going to do one more stab though, and this is a basic spear defense. On the battlefield, we're going to start, bad guy same way, good guy here, and this time when the bad guy brings their sword down, you're going to bring your sword straight up. Not over your head. This is Jodan. This is a cutting position. Sword in front of you but higher is a defensive position. It's called Dai Jodan, or great overhead position. From here, that's Yoi. On each, the bad guy is going to step and stab, and what I want you to do is I want you to step back, and you're going to block down away from your lead leg. Does that make sense? You do not want to block towards your lead leg because you may be taking a weapon and driving it right to the inside of your thigh where the femoral artery is, and that's not really good for you. Okay? So we're going to start left foot in front. Yoi, bring it up. Step and block down. And for you purists that say, the samurai only blocked with the side of their blade to preserve the edge, On this move, you can do that. When you step back, you can block flat against flat. If you feel you have a better sword than the barbarians coming over in leaky boats from the Korean mainland, and they're using crappy steel, you would step back and cut with the edge into the side of their sword trying to break them. Okay? I don't care which one you use. You've got a round boken. It's mostly in your head anyway. But you can do either one. We're going to step back and block, and then you're going to shuffle. You're going to bring the sword back to the center line and then forwards. Please don't block and shift in like this. It looks really cool, but there is no power this way. If you hit something solid with your wrist bent like this, all you're going to do is disarm yourself. Okay? Block, shift, thrust. Ready? One time.
All right. We have Yoi.
Daijodo.
Over here. As the attacker, please aim for your partner's stomach. Is the best on this. There's a big tendency to just kind of drop your sword because you think they're going to block it. Don't stab them in the knees or the toes.
Make them earn it.
Okay? Each. Stab.
Now, if you're the responder, the winner, when you return, you're aiming for the middle of the chest. If the bad guy has their hands high on that stab, and guys, please don't do this. I'll show you why. If your arms are in the way, bad guy attacks high. If the arms are in the way, you can't stab him in the chest, so what you have to do is go lower. And just so we're clear, gentlemen, if you're going to die on the battlefield, I would prefer here than here. Okay? You can do that, but that's up to you.
All right, we're going to give this a try. Our first attacker is facing the audience in the chairs. Left foot in front, weapon up by your ear. All right, move up just a little, come closer. All right, defenders should still have the sword pointed at them and left foot in front currently, just so we get everybody in line. Excellent. All right, without moving your feet. Yoi, attacker, bring it down, pointed at their chest, and defenders up. And you want a little more straight. Yep. It makes it much easier to block. And my defenders, you guys are blocking from right to left. Except for you, when you step back, you're going the opposite arm. All right. They're stabbing for your stomach. Ready? Each step and stab them. Remember to step backwards on your block. And we should have that block down. Yep. Push it just a little further. And then push it just a little further. You've kind of got to keep your wrist straight, and that'll help. And see, now you've got a clear path to stab back. All right, defenders or attackers, hold your position. Defenders, knee, return the stab. And it's still right foot.
We die now?
Okay. 1, 2. All right, reset. Let's try it again.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to have you come just a little bit closer to him. That's part of why he felt he could step forwards. You're close enough now to menace him, and if he steps forwards this time, he's going to stab himself on your sword. All right. Yoi. Defenders, point the weapon. Defenders up. Attackers pointed at him. And attackers stepping at them violently. Each, get him! Knee, return the strike. All right, your attack needs to be a little bit more menacing. We're going to make him move back this time. You can do it. All right, are you ready? I'm going to help you. Are you ready? All right, left foot in front. Yoi, bring the weapon down. Don't move yet. Your weapon should be up. All right, now. We're going that way. He has to block from the side, but he's moving backwards. Are you ready? You're going to take a big step, and your goal is to poke him right there. If he jumps forwards this time, poke him right there. All right, ready? Each, stab him! Perfect! Knee, return it!
Oh no!
Absolutely excellent. Good job. See, all it takes is to take the shiny one out, and then he'll actually move backwards. Self-preservation is key. All right, one more time before we switch jobs. Yoi, weapons in position. Up for the defenders, pointed at him for the attackers. And each! Knee! Excellent. All right, trading jobs. Move this way a little bit so your partner has room to back up on the defense. All right, everybody left foot in front. Attacker, weapon up by your ear. Defender pointed at them. And we are ready. Do not move your feet, but yoi. Attackers, bring the weapon down. under it. Yep. All right, here we go. Attackers, you're stepping forwards to stab them in the gut. Defenders, you're stepping back and blocking on the side. Each stab. Excellent. All right. Attackers, hold still. Defenders, and your block should have done it right to left. It makes it a lot stronger. All right. Defenders, you're shuffling in to stab them in the chest. Knee. Return the stab. Yep. Good. All right, let's try again. Like this. Face your partner, left foot in front. I got her. Okay. Go ahead and attack. All right. Yoi, weapons go up. And then you're going to step backwards and block that one. Yep. All right. Ready? Each stab them. You're not cutting though. Or kind of like windshield wiper. You're turning, but that's sideways. You're turning to block that there. And then knee, return it, stab them. Like from there. You just come right back to the middle to poke. Okay. Perfect. All right, again. Yoi, weapons up. Each stab. Knee, return. Good. One more time. One more time. Yoi, weapons up. Each block. Step back though. There you go. And then knee, stab them back. Good. All right. Step backwards. We're ready for whack-a-mole. No. She moves backwards. She's got this whole mostly runaway thing. Until the end, and then she was deciding that, you know, she was just ready.
Really over time, all blends together anyway. It's more defined by use of movement. Okay, I'm sorry. Hi. Okay. Overhead, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Run for the attacker. You're starting the same way.
Ooh, okay. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to show you one move that we would normally do before we do the really cool, this is the ultimate killing battlefield awesome technique. But having a little bit of limited space and time, I'm going to show you this move and then we're going to do the really cool one, okay? Basics for swordsmanship. If your attacker is going to do an overhead strike, the best thing in the world you can do is not be there when it gets there. Does that make sense? Move! It works in the parking lot too against trucks. Okay? So on the battlefield, if I have my right foot in front, if they bring the sword up, I'm going to rotate the sword up into an overhead blocking position. This is called kasumi. Again, you see it in the movie pictures, but it's lower like this. Again, so they can get the sword into the picture. You're actually going to have the sword up like this and slanted. And when the strike comes in, you're going to sidestep away, boom, and hit them back. Notice how there was no contact there? That's because I'm good. And it wasn't a life or death situation. I knew what she was going to do. The reality in sword combat is you want to preserve the edge, but your biggest priority is to block. Don't worry about the edge of your sword. They can fix that. They can't fix the hole in your head. Okay, so for those people saying, oh, you never block with the edge. You block with whatever part you need to. Okay? And we would make this block, it would hit, and you would slide out from under it, and then use that energy to return strike. This is fun. And with practice, it gets faster and faster and faster. We do this as a multiple attack drill at our school, where you will have 12 people in 3 rings around you, attacking, and you'll go here, 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 and then have to go back the other way. It's fun, and I'm a crazy, psychotic instructor. But I believe in making these movements real.
Those are my favorite.
Crazy, psychotic instructors, we'll get along great. Okay, that's if you have your right foot in front. If you have your left foot in front, your block comes up like this, and you try to go the other way. The downside to that is, at speed, your hands are crossed and you don't have the same structural strength. If your attacker is faster than you are, or you're on the battlefield, you're fighting in mud and dead bodies piled up on the floor, you may not be able to step out from under their strike very quickly. And if you're holding up your sword like this, it can actually get bounced down. and you still die. So what they did on the battlefield is a ridiculously cool move, and I'm going to teach it to you. If you're familiar with Japanese architecture, does anybody know what the arch is called in Japanese? I heard somebody say Tori. You're right. Not just a really cool girl's name. The name of this particular technique is Tori. We're going to make an arch and then kill your opponent with it. Bad guy starts left foot in front. Good guy starts left foot in front. Sword is here. And on Yoi, when she brings the sword up over her head, what you're going to do is you're going to take your bottom hand, which for almost everybody should be your left hand, and you're going to let go of the sword. You're going to bring the blade up flat over your head and slightly in front of you. And you're going to take your left hand and put it on the bottom of the sword. Remember, Japanese sword is only sharp on one side. If you're Hironi Kenshin, this move is going to be the end of you. But if you're a normal samurai, this way. Please don't hold it like this. The Europeans did that. They had a little bit different style. Their swords were sharpened a little bit differently. Okay? Don't do this. And don't do this one either. I know that's how you do bench presses. But if you're like this and she's hitting forwards and down, it's going to pull right off the palm of your hand and they're still going to hit you. So you're going to go flat. Don't roll your fingers up. We might get hit. Right down the middle of your palm. You know, where your love line is. As in, if you do this right, you have a love line. If you do it wrong, nope. Okay? So on Yoi, she's going to come up and you're going to bring this up in front of you. On each, she's going to step and strike and you're going to catch it. On knee, you're going to sidestep. We're going to move to our left. Please don't cross your feet. I know it's really cool to see this kind of wushu martial arts moves, but that destroys your structural strength and you're going to get hit. If you move to your left foot first. So from right here, out, over, guess what comes next? Oh yeah, the world's coolest, most accurate pool cue stroke. There! And then your only job is to get the sword out and go find a new toy because that one is broken. Okay, on the battlefield, you don't even have to do this because your opponent's normally rushing at you and all you have to do is catch it and sidestep and they'll run right into it. Oops, sorry. And out. Okay, so our counting scheme is going to be like this.
Yoi, both people weapons go up. Each attacker overhead strike, defender catches. Knee, sidestep and skewer. Sound effects are optional.
And then victory dance.
No victory dance! Alright. This side facing the audience, left foot in front, you are the attacker, weapon up by your rear. Other side, left foot in front, close enough that they can step with one step and hit you, but not close enough that they can hit you before without stepping. If they can simply go bop and hit you, you are too close. Alright. Here we go. Defenders currently have the sword pointed at your partner. You can't both attack. Alright, without moving your feet.
No smile.
Yoi, attackers bring the weapon up over your head. Defenders are in position to your block.
Samurai clown.
And we are almost ready. There we go. Perfect, here we go. Each step and strike at him. Catch it.
Oh, death.
Catch it. Alright, and then knee, sidestep out from underneath it and stab your partner. Excellent. Alright, let's try it again.
What's your name? Allie, I'm Abby.
Left foot in front for everybody.
A-L-L-I.
Weapons, Yoi, up for the attacker, into your block position for the defender, and each hit them! Each, sidestep and kill them! Nice, alright, again!
Absolutely untrue.
My grandpa had a dog named Allie. I'm rolling
Yoi, weapons up, each, catch it! Each, sidestep and skewer! Excellent! Alright. Everybody move this way just a little bit. We're going to do it one more time, but this time our attackers have the option of a dramatic death scene. Okay? The only thing I ask for your dramatic death scene is that you keep it roughly contained to the area through with other people. We've had some really dramatic death scenes. All right. Yoi, weapons up.
And without damaging.
Each strike. Each sidestep and kill him. Excellent. We have some good dramatic death scenes. All right, we're going to do it now. Other person gets to attack. Everybody left foot in front. And without moving your feet or striking them yet, Yoi, bring the weapon up over your head if you're attacking. If you're defending, from here, from here, take the bottom hand off. Yep, and bring it up this way. Perfect. All right, we are in position. Here we go. Each strike them. Except for left hand. All right, knee, sidestep, and skewer. Pretty much pushing. Perfect. You got it. All right, let's try it again. Yeah. Left foot in front.
Just careful.
All right, Yoi, bring the left foot up. Each catch it. Knee, sidestep, and skewer. Good. You got it. All right, let's try it again. Yoi, weapons up. Good fix. Each catch it. Knee, sidestep, and skewer. And my left knee, yep, you're a good fix.
If you have a background in Filipino arts and stuff, then you get your second day of class. So your safety is real strong. Because it's
all right, one more time. Our attackers have the option of a dramatic death scene on this one.
So you get to progress.
We have Yoi, weapons up.
Rank just is basic. Rank is basically time the system.
Each catch it. Knee, sidestep, and skewer.
Just assume.
You're really not. All right, guys, what I want you to do is back away from your partner a little bit, but still facing them in a non-menacing manner. Give them a short bow. That is a thank you in martial arts training for not actually breaking you or clubbing you unconscious or smashing your fingers into little bits. Well, if you're not conscious to do so, you really can't show that respect. So, all right, stay here for just a moment, because I have to harass Dan.
That's how it works in the real world. People who can fight, fight. People who can't fight, hold a clipboard.
All right, is everybody still alive? Did you have them bow to each other? Did she explain why you bowed to each other?
Yes.
Okay. Yes! Thank you! Okay, this isn't about all the etiquette stuff. You are literally thanking each other for a safe class. You don't have to be best friends. The students we have at our school have nothing in common with each other outside the dojo, but it's amazing the bonds they have because they literally put each other's lives in the other person's hands. And it's nice to know for that 1-2 second span of time that you're paying attention. You guys did a great job. I wish we had another sword class to go. Actually, I wish we had like 4 more sword classes so we could let other people have sticks and beat each other. You guys could do more techniques. And are you guys? We're in Minnesota. Do you know where Iowa is? Yeah. Okay, good. I expect to see you all in class on Tuesday night at 7. And if you show up, I'll let you train for free.
Just walk to Iowa anywhere.
You can stow away in the back of our truck if you like our dogs. You guys have been absolutely awesome. I need 2 things from you. One is the boken are actually not souvenirs. We need them for the next sword class. If you could bring those back to my wife, that would be awesome. If you want more information on swordsmanship, cutting, stances, that sort of thing, we have DVDs for swordsmanship, for uncensored comedy. I have no idea how that relates to a sword. Actually, I do, and if you buy the DVD, you can find out. But please, buy a DVD. It helps support what we do. Otherwise, if you could help the staff put the chairs back up, they would love you forever.
Yay.
Or until the next round starts, whichever comes first.
Let's go to